It was nearly 2 in the morning, and the world was painted in shades of charcoal and streetlight orange. Maya leaned against the cold brick of the building, the exhaustion of a double shift settling deep into her bones. All she wanted was her bed. Her phone screen glowed, announcing her ride was arriving. A dark sedan, just like the app said. The license plate matched. Everything seemed routine. She slid into the back seat, the door closing with a solid, reassuring thud. The driver, a silhouette in the dim light, gave a quick nod. "Hey," he said, his voice quiet, almost lost in the hum of the engine. Maya murmured a greeting back and settled in, letting her head rest against the cool window. The city lights began to blur into long streaks as they pulled away from the curb. The familiar rhythm of the car was almost lulling her to sleep, but then a subtle shift in the pattern of turns caught her attention. A street she didn't recognize, another one. She sat up straighter, her drowsiness evaporating like mist. She pulled up the map on her phone. Her heart gave a small, nervous flutter. The little blue dot representing her was moving steadily away from the blue line of the correct route. They were heading in the completely opposite direction. "Hey," she said, trying to keep her voice even and casual. "I think you might have missed a turn back there." The driver didn't respond. The silence in the car suddenly felt heavy, charged. Maya cleared her throat, her palms starting to feel clammy. "Excuse me," she said, a little louder this time. "My apartment is the other way." Still nothing. Just the low thrum of the engine and the quiet swish of the tires on the asphalt. Panic, cold and sharp, began to prickle at the edges of her mind. She risked a glance up at the rearview mirror. What she saw made her stomach clench into a tight, painful knot. The driver was smiling. It wasn't a friendly smile. It was wide, stretched, and aimed at the dark road ahead. A smile of private, chilling satisfaction. A cold wave of dread washed over her. This wasn't a simple mistake. This was intentional. Her mind raced, sifting through 100 horror movie scenarios. She had to do something, but she couldn't let him know she was panicking. Taking a deep, shaky breath, she kept her eyes glued to her phone, pretending to be absorbed in a video. Her fingers, fumbling slightly, navigated to the rideshare app's safety features. With a tap that felt like the loudest sound in the world, she activated the emergency button. A notification confirmed she was being connected to a live safety agent. Just as the connection was being established, the driver's voice cut through the silence, calm and low. "You don't need to do that." Maya's blood ran cold. The phone felt like a block of ice in her hand. How could he possibly know? She hadn't made a sound. She stammered, How did you know?" He didn't turn his head. His eyes remained fixed on the road, the eerie smile still playing on his lips in the mirror's reflection. "I know where you live," he said, his tone conversational, as if they were discussing the weather. "You've taken this route before. You always get dropped off at the corner of Oak and 12th. A new, more profound terror seized her. This wasn't random. He knew her routine. He had been watching her. The knowledge was suffocating. He wasn't just a driver. He was a predator who had studied his prey. Her mind spun, desperately searching for an escape, a lifeline. Then an idea sparked. A lie. It was a long shot, but it was all she had. "My roommate is tracking this ride," she blurted out, her voice surprisingly firm. "She has my live location. She's expecting me in 10 minutes. For the first time, the driver's expression changed. The smile vanished. The muscles in his jaw tightened. The car began to slow down. The change was so abrupt it was jarring. Without another word, he pulled the car over to the side of the deserted industrial road. The engine idled, the silence now filled with a tense, unspoken threat. "Get out," he snarled, the quiet calm completely gone, replaced by a raw, cold anger. Maya didn't need to be told twice. She didn't hesitate, didn't question, didn't look back. Her hand flew to the door handle, and she practically fell out of the car, scrambling to her feet on the gravel shoulder. The night air was sharp and cold against her flushed skin. She ran. She ran without thinking, her only instinct to put as much distance as possible between herself and that dark sedan. She didn't dare look over her shoulder until she reached the relative safety of a brightly lit intersection a block away. Behind her, the street was empty. The car was gone, vanished as quickly as it had appeared. Her legs felt like jelly, and she collapsed against a lamppost, gasping for air, her body trembling uncontrollably. When the police arrived, the story became even more terrifying. They ran the plates. The car was stolen. The driver's account on the app was a ghost, a fake profile built on stolen information. There was no trace of the man who had been behind the wheel. He was a phantom. The police took her statement, offered her a ride home in the back of their cruiser, a ride that felt both safe and deeply unsettling. For days, every dark sedan that passed her on the street sent a jolt of fear through her. She replayed the calm, chilling tone of his voice in her head. "I know where you live." 2 weeks later, Maya saw a news report that made her feel sick to her stomach. Another woman in another part of the city had reported a disturbingly similar experience with a rideshare. The details were almost identical. The dark sedan, the wrong turn, the unnerving silence. But that woman's story had a different ending. She didn't get out of the car. She never made it home. Maya stared at the screen, her own reflection looking back at her, pale and haunted. She had escaped, but the knowledge of what could have happened and what did happen to someone else would ride with her forever. Thank you for watching. Remember to trust your instincts, and if a situation feels wrong, it probably is. Use the safety features available to you and always let someone know where you are. Stay safe out there,